Welcome to the Paranormal Highway. Today, what's on the Paranormal Highway? We're going to check out some mysteries in Utah. Some paranormal. We'll talk a few things. Yes, if you're looking at me right now, yes, you're looking at me kind of funny right now. You're like, does he look like he's got a black eye? Well, I do have a black eye. It's from this surgery. You want to know more about it? You got to stick around because we're going to have a great, fantastic show. I can't wait to chat with you guys. So after the intro, go use the bathroom real quick. Go get yourself a cup of coffee. Do whatever you got to do because if you're not on the Paranormal Highway, then where the hell are you? Watching some fraud channels? I guess you might be. All right, I'll see you after the intro.
The Skinwalker versus the Wendigo. According to Navajo folklore, skinwalkers wear animal skins and possess abilities, such as the ability to move at incredible speeds or to read minds. And many people believe that encountering one can bring about serious harm or death. However, skinwalkers are taboo in Navajo culture and is not widely discussed. The Wendigo is a creature from Algonquian folklore, primarily found in the northern forests of the United States and Canada. It is a tall, thin, emaciated humanoid creature with a deer skull for a head, razor-sharp teeth, and glowing eyes. The Wendigo is a cannibalistic monster that preys on humans. People who have resorted to cannibalism in order to survive in the wilderness can become possessed by the Wendigo spirit and transform into the creature. Which one would you prefer transforming into?
Well, would you want to be a skinwalker or would you want to be a Wendigo? That's a choice you're going to have to choose. Yes, just like Danny Stanton said, Eric looks like he was in the WWE. Laugh out loud. Yes, actually, late last night, Danny, my eye did shut down. Now, kind of a funny thing. We'll get into the Utah thing. I don't know. Maybe this is not funny, right? Whenever you go through a procedure, right? Get done a procedure, they give you like this little blue bag. It's kind of like one of those little bags you get going to the dentist office. You have a little cream, and you're supposed to change out the bandage after 48 hours, right? So they gave me this bandage. It's hard to tell you exactly how big it was. Well, you see here, the cut goes from here all the way to this other end, and this bandage would only cover half the stitches. I'm like, wow, for a professional cancer type place, wouldn't you think you give me a bandage that's going to cover up the whole stitches? you know, and, and they did tell me that because of the cut up there, my eyes will go black. And I didn't realize how puffy it got because late last night, my left eye was actually shut. so, I had to take some ibuprofens or whatever, just try to get it down, and to the point where I didn't even know I was going to do a show. But you know what? A good friend of mine, I was talking a little bit to my good friend last night, and I won't mention his name in case he doesn't want his name mentioned. He's like, Eric, you probably could have said you were out Bigfoot hunting and Bigfoot would, threw a rock and hit you in the head and people probably believe you. And you know what? I started thinking about that. He's probably right. If I would have said I was out in the middle of a forest, and a rock was thrown at me and I know it's Bigfoot and he causes big slash, yeah, there probably would have been some people that would believe me, but you know what? I don't do that. I am not gonna, I am not gonna make up something. My friend, where's this joke? He's just joking, and and he's probably right. People would probably believe in that story, but I would never false or anything like that. No, which I wish it was cool. I wish I could have said it was I fought 5 people in an alley. They had knives. I only had my fist, and they cut me right there. Yes, that sounds more sexy. Sounds better. But no, this is from growing up in California with that 100-degree weather in Fresno. I was telling my friend that I should sue California for not telling us youngies that we needed sunscreen. But it is what it is. Oh, hey, maybe this isn't from the radiation from the sun. Maybe I was abducted by aliens and the radiation from the aliens that caused some cancer to grow. Maybe that's a possibility. I can't say that's true. I can't say it's not true because they said people have gotten abducted and memories are squished. That's the story, right? So maybe that's a possibility. I don't know. I don't know. But still, I want to thank you guys for being here. And oh God, I tell you one thing. It does itch. It does itch. I actually, this this is we're gonna get to the Utah stuff. I apologize. You know, you can't wash it until after 48 hours, right? So I took a shower, washed it, and when I first got the bandage, I asked my wife if she could put the bandage on me, and she didn't realize how wide the cut was, and she almost passed out. It was rough. So actually, what this is, my son Oliver has this big medical kit. So if you ever go camping, you want to go paranormal hunting, Bigfoot hunting, take my son because he's got the whole kit. He's got this is actually an eye patch, but for an eye, but it was actually long enough to cover the whole stitches because they didn't even give me bandage to cover the whole stitches. Go figure. You know, maybe Gremlin's got a hold of you. Yeah, maybe Gremlin's got a hold of you. What did he say? Eric walked into a jazz bar and said, "Where's the white moment?" Yep, true story. Or hold on, where's the white moment at? That would lend evidence to my theory about your war reenactment story. Some some kind of, you know what, Danny? If you really seriously think about it, if we are to believe portals exist, and I do believe portals exist because I think my brother and I went into a portal. Could there be some kind of radiation that can create that kind of power and that can start certain kind of cancer and stuff? I mean, anything's a possibility, right? I mean, if we knew the answers, we wouldn't be here today, right? So that's interesting. That's a pretty good theory, Danny. I mean, who knows? I mean, who knows what causes okay, I know doctors, science. I get it. I believe in science and stuff. But bad foods, the everything that's in it, the junk that's all around us. Yes, I know. Anything we touch has some kind of radiation. We could get cancer from anything, you know? Uh, but going to a portal with that kind of energy, maybe, maybe, you know, Bigfoot and non. Colin Flynn. Connor Flynn. Of course, I mean everybody here knows Bigfoot and non. And hold on a second. If you don't, I was actually gonna bring up his name up today anyway, because I was doing a show. Now, going through the history of my channel, and I was actually thinking about Connor yesterday. I say like, Eric, listen, Connor's a great guy. I don't swing that way. Connor's a great guy, and I was actually remembering. I was like thinking to myself, what was one of the best interviews I've ever done? One of the best. And I've always said, and I always thought one of the best when I first met Connor Flynn. When I first met him, because Connor was one of those people who knows what he believes in and doesn't give a damn what anybody thinks. You could see the excitement that was in his eyes about his Bigfoot research, his paranormal research, UFO research. There's certain people that has channels that I've interviewed. They're great interviews, but you know something when you see a certain kind of spirit that's in somebody's body, right? You could see it, you could tell. And Connor had it. He has it. He has that certain kind of energy that, I mean, when we're talking about, we used to talk about conferences out there. There's conferences, cons, Bigfoot cons, UFO conference. There's a lot of conferences out there. And I always say one of the biggest problem with some conferences is nothing against some of the speakers, but no offense to some of the speakers, they're boring. Connor brings so much of that natural energy that it rubs off on you. It's just one of those things that he just has that energy. And he's doing things, he's gonna be doing great things, and it's just he is one of the funnest people that I have done shows with. Just pure out energy fun. He'll study it, he'll learn it, and the best thing of it, he believes it. One of the thing is I forgot how exactly how Ron says it for Cosmic Neighbors, like, bro, you know, when Connor says he sees something, you want to look because you could look at Connor and when he sees something, he's excited. You could see it. I mean, you could just see it right through him. And he's got that he's got that certain kind of attitude that you just love. And everybody's got different kind of attitudes. Like one thing about Cosmic Neighbors is one of the things I love about Cosmic Neighbors is he just wants the truth. He doesn't give a rat's ass what you think of it. He wants the truth, and he's gonna dissect it like I'm not calling Ron a skeptic, but he will dissect it like a skeptic because Connor just wants the truth. I mean, Ron just wants the truth. Like, bro, you know what I mean? So there's a lot of great people. I love doing shows, with Danny Static because Danny's Danny. You know what I mean? Danny is just Danny. He goes out, has a lot of experience. He's just a good guy. Danny's just a good guy. I know somebody asked on Tuesday, why haven't I had Danny on this week? Because the surgery and all that, and some of the topics that I've been talking about, kind of like the topic I had on Tuesday about channels, frauding, faking. I don't feel comfortable having somebody else on there kind of put them in the spotlight. Like, even though I'm not saying names of certain people out there, I just don't like putting other people in that position when I'm going down that kind of road. Like this is going to be kind of show like how I'm ashamed of people who fraud pictures, videos, and all that. Even though Danny would do it, but I don't like putting people in that position. Like, oh, I don't want to come on for this kind of conversation. You guys know what I mean? So I have respect for a lot of people, and I don't like to do that. The government wants my time travel machine. They can't have it. Well, they might not have yours, but they probably already got a duplicate of what you have. They just don't know how to work it. And that's why they want you. Kind of like remember the movie Armageddon with Bruce Willis, where he had a patent special machine that could dig better than most dig machines that could dig the most impossible. Well, the government already kind of built it, but they didn't know how to build it correctly, so they needed Bruce Willis. Remember that? And I believe that's how it is nowadays. That if you have a patent on something, the government has it too. You build something, they already know you built it, and they're trying to build it. But the thing is, they just can't build it the proper way that you know how to build it. So you can't always trust, you know, you know. So what I'm saying is the government already has what you built. They just can't run it the way you can. I will come on anytime I can, but I don't lie, so expect the cold truth. Yeah. And I know that, Danny. I know that. But I just know sometimes with certain kind of topics, if I go down a certain way, I just don't want to put somebody in that position, even though you're the person that I know that can take any position. Well, let's look at Utah. What do we know about Utah? You paranormal, of course. There's some UFOs, Bigfoot sightings. Of course, we know about Skinwalker Ranch. But let's start with one of the videos. I got a video we're gonna look at. This one's called "Here Are Some of the Most Notorious Haunted Spots in Utah." So I'm not basing the whole show on Skinwalker Ranch. Are we gonna talk about it? Of course, we're gonna talk about it because you can't talk about Utah. But the Paranormal Highway today has driven to Utah. So let's check out this first video about some hot spots. If you go to Utah, here are supposedly some paranormal hotspots for you all.
Hear this bang, and something slid across the floor.
Hold on. What place is he talking about?
I hear this bang, and something slid across the floor and hit the other side of the wall. It was right here.
For 5 years, security guard Bill Zamora has tended to the living and the dead at Salt Lake City and County Building.
I hear this moan right up to my ear.
A few blocks away, a ghost named Molly is known to moan at the Peary Hotel.
I guess a lot of
I'm sorry. I'm always like trying to like what did he say? Didn't mean it that way? Because it seems like he says they have a ghost called Molly, and Molly likes to bone. Hold on. Did I hear that right? Hold on. Let's go back. Let's go back for a second. Hold on.
A ghost named Molly is known to bone at the Peary Hotel.
Molly likes to bone at the motel. Am I hearing that right? Are they meaning something else? Or are they really saying that Molly's a ghost and she likes to have sex at a hotel? Is that what they mean? Or do they mean by something else? Because or Molly, or are they saying Molly is home? Are they saying Molly is home or Molly likes to bone? I gotta hear that one more time.
A ghost named Molly is known to bone at the Peary Hotel.
I guess a lot of guests have had experiences in riding our haunted elevator.
Another haunted hotel is found in Ogden. Ben Lomond housekeeper Gertie Curran once told Fox 13 she met the ghost in 1106.
But it's the lady from World War II who was waiting on her son.
And Gertie shared some ghastly advice.
It's just a ghost, just talk to her.
Some say the abandoned St. Anne's convent.
I love that woman. Love that woman. It's a ghost. Talk to it. It's just, it's like, talk to it. It's just the way she said it. Just normal. Oh, watch. I just love the way she talks. I'm sorry.
Gertie shared some ghastly advice.
It's just a ghost, just talk to her.
Some say
it's just a ghost. Just talk to it. I love that attitude. Eric, you need to play our video about the prostitute ghost dude. Yeah, I gotta find that video. I know which one you're talking about. The prostitute ghost dude. I know which one you're talking about. I gotta find that. Maybe I'll find it for the show tomorrow. Maybe I'll find it for tomorrow.
The abandoned St. Anne's convent near Logan hides the twisted tale of a nun who became pregnant, then drowned her baby. At Southern Utah.
Damn. You guys hear that? A nun that got pregnant and drowned the baby. Hold on. Let me hear that again.
And St. Anne's convent near Logan hides the twisted tale of a nun who became pregnant, then drowned her baby.
It just tells you that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what position you're in, what you believe in. I mean, technically, if you're in the religious world, I mean, a nun who is, I guess, a secretary to God, to Jesus, even they could do sick things, which I still believe to this day that why does only men could be a pope? Why can't a woman? I'm just saying, why does in that religion, why does the women can only be a nun? I think a woman should be able to be a pope. Why not? We live in an equal world, right? Everything, God created everything to be equally, right? I think a woman should be allowed to run to be a pope. Maybe they are. I mean, I don't know. But I hope one day we see a woman as a pope. A woman shouldn't just have to be a nun. But in this story, man, the nun, well, I guess the ultimate sin is hurting yourself. But still, a baby?
Southern Utah University in Cedar City, the ghost of a long-gone student may play piano in the auditorium late at night. Park City is haunted below ground.
It seems like every movement and sound is amplified in the darkness there.
By the ghost of a bride-to-be.
Searching for her dead minor husband.
The ghost of a grave robbing.
That's sad. God, you know, that's actually a sad kind of a story that the ghost is looking for her husband. I mean, that's kind of depressing a little bit. Let me go back a little bit. Let's go back a little bit. Hold on. Let me hear this again.
Is amplified in the darkness there.
By the ghost of a bride-to-be.
Searching for her dead minor husband.
The ghost of a grave-robbing ghoul is said to wander the shores of the Great Salt Lake.
He had been branded grave robber across his forehead. His ears had been cut off.
He was banished to an island and was never seen again, at least not alive.
Got vanished to an island. Almost sounds like Escape from New York, right? Where in that movie theory is you do the crime, you know, they make New York City into like a big prison camp. Not a bad idea, right? I wonder why they don't do that in real life. Do we really need a New York City? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. You know, or hey, I got a better idea. Why not make Staten Island into like a prison island? We'll send all the bad people there because I know they already got a lot of bad people there already, probably, right? So they should just make Staten Island a prison camp. Prison island. It's everybody there what? Whoa, Carla Webster, so awesome, so great to see you. That's so great to see you. Oh, Jessica Jones, great to see you. If you guys just come in, listen, I know you're looking at this handsome guy and it looks like I have black eyes. It's from the procedure that I had on Monday that causes my eyes to go black. So nobody punched me. Unless but Bob thinks that part of the radiation that caused this, or no, that was Danny. Danny was like, Eric, the portal, Gettysburg, maybe that's kind of a power from that caused your issue in the forehead that had to cut. True, it could be true. I mean, who knows? So let's check out some more of this.
This is the place State Park is haunted by pioneers. Other insist the grounds of Fort Douglas are patrolled by a ghostly soldier. But perhaps Utah's most famous haunted spot? Salt Lake's Rio Grande Depot, where one story just won't die. A woman who ran to retrieve her diamond ring tossed onto the tracks by an angry lover was hit by an oncoming train. Choosing money over love, she's spending an unhappy ever after. In Salt
Yeah. Great to see you, Eric. You rock the black eye look. Yeah. Again, a friend of mine, Carla, told me last night, you should have said you went to the woods and Bigfoot threw a rock at you. But I don't do that kind of stuff. I don't do that. Yeah. But it is what it is. Paranormal activity comes with spikes of radiation, most definitely. Yeah. I heard that too. Portals and all that. And yeah. And I mean, they did warn me that my eyes were gonna get dark, but man, last night my eyes actually did shut and all that. Eric's the devil hand. the devil's hand. You're right. I've been playing with the devil's hand. I've been going there a lot. And then maybe the devil's hand is getting his revenge on me. You're right. That is so true. One of the things that anybody who knows me knows that I promote like conferences, UFO conferences, Bigfoot conferences, paranormal conferences. I support conferences. I love going to cons. I love I love going to Comic-Con, the Emerald City Comic-Con in Seattle. I love it. I love going to Bigfoot conferences because you get to meet a lot of people like yourself. A lot of people, you would think everybody who's there are there to, they believe the same thing you do. So I do support a lot of cons. And one of the conferences they do in Utah is called the Phenomicon. And they just had a couple months ago. And I want to go to this conference. I love going to conferences. I support if I see a good video on it, a good channel doing a review on this conference. I love showing them because I want you guys to go. I know our good friend Texas Front Porch next year is going to be having a big Bigfoot conferences out there in Alabama. I think it's Alabama. Shoot, I hope I say that right. And if you live in those areas, conferences are fun because you get to be with people like yourself who have open minds and are willing to listen to people tell their stories or maybe get personally in touch with them. I met Sasquatch America at the last Bigfoot conferences up in Yakima. And, I got to meet the Sea Squatchers for real. They've been on my show like 3 times. Love the Sea Squatchers. Got to meet them in person. Took a picture with them. So, I love conferences. Love it. And here's a conference to do in Utah. So since today's Paranormal Highway taking us to Utah, let's check out the conference in Utah. Oh my God, my good friend, Hazel Fever. Love this guy. Listen, if you're into the Mandela effect, Danny Stanton, Robert Wood, if you guys could put his link in the chat, please do. Is fantastic with Mandela effect videos. I mean, he puts things out there that I never even thought of. Like, oh wow, that's a difference. Oh wow, you are going to school today? Awesome, my kid's going to school today. So hey, there's this channel. Hazel Fever is a fantastic channel. If you love Mandela effects, you're going to love his channel. There's nothing that's off topic. So here we go about that conference out in Utah.
Watch the TV shows like Expedition Bigfoot and Skinwalker Ranch.
I'm a skeptic. Okay. On Bigfoot, I'm still a skeptic.
These are things that are just very sensational and dangerous, and they're being leveled for money, taxpayer money.
UFOs, skinwalkers, Bigfoot, things that go bump in the night are being discussed this week in Vernal. It's a conference called Phenomicon. Fox.
And what I love about Phenomicon is it's a conference. It's all three. I mean, they're talking about paranormal, they're talking about UFOs, and they're talking about Bigfoot. A lot of conferences usually, like a lot of Bigfoot conferences, is just mostly on Bigfoot. But if you can find a conference that does all three, that's awesome. To be with people that have an open mind like you are, that's awesome.
13 investigative team told you about Phenomicon in February and how taxes were used to finance an event that some people believe spreads misinformation.
This is the reason why I also wanted to play this, because in the original, what I learned about the Phenomicon is that Phenomicon was put together by taxpayers, by taxes. Taxes paid for it. But right off the bat, when you hear what taxes paying for a Phenomicon that talks about UFO, Bigfoot, what are our money going to waste? No. Sometimes taxes are invested in a certain way. They're going to make their tax money back. So when the town used tax money for this conference, they made their money back through food, people coming in, through restaurants. So a lot of times people kind of like, what? They use taxes on thoughts? No, they're using taxes on being open-minded. And it's kind of interesting from Utah, the Mormon state, right? Where you can have 5-7 wives, which, listen, hopefully my wife is not watching this right now. I love my wife, but I can't handle 3 of her. I can only handle her. I can't handle 3 or 4 of her. But they actually made enough money where they don't need to use taxpayers' money for these conferences. So it's not like when people get their panties up their asses, they're using taxpayers. It's almost like I hate it when people say, I can't believe the cities are investing their money into sports teams. Well, those sports teams are what generates money for every other program. So that's in the case of Utah, they're using tax money in the right place because they're getting that money back with people coming in. So, you know what I mean? So don't get your panties out of when you hear taxpayers' money.
Fox 13 investigative reporter Nate Carlisle went back to Vernal, where the theme of Phenomicon is We Believe.
I'm Kirby and Kirby Fairhall, and I'm from New Zealand. I love the UAP UFO topic. First time in the States.
First time in the States.
Yeah.
Jeff Freeman, and I have a podcast, JFree906. This is a snapshot of the video that was taken by Bob Gimlin in 1967. This was just given to me as a gift today from one of the fans of my podcast, and it's signed by Bob Gimlin himself. I mean, what a gift, right? Bear.
Jessica Jones. Yes, government. You're right. The government used tax money for way many more things that they shouldn't be using it on. That is true. So if anybody had a problem them using tax money on something that gives money back into the community, I love hearing like that lady first time in the States and she's at one of these cons. There's nothing better than that. There's nothing better than that.
Hall and Freeman are travelers to eastern Utah. Among the 1,200 people expected to hear speakers talk about unexplained phenomena and maybe share a few of their own experiences.
This is our 3rd time here. I lived in a haunted house, had a lot of activity going on for a number of years. We have spotted UFOs.
Can you find
And that's the thing right there. That's the beautiful thing, people, about a lot of these conferences. You're going to hear stories from real people. You know what I mean? Like people like us. I'm not talking about the people you always see in the documentaries. Like I've always said, and I'm going to stick to this day. One of the worst community documentaries to me are UFO documentaries. I do not enjoy a lot of the UFO documentaries because it's the same people telling the same story over and over again. He jumps from here, he goes here, he goes here. They talk to the same scientist, the same person, the same people on different documentaries. When you go to conferences, you're talking to real people like yourself. Now, don't get me wrong. There are going to be people anywhere you go that's gonna are looking for attention and they're gonna lie. We know that. But there's a lot of good people that do have good stories. And it's kind of like people are afraid to come out and tell their stories. There people still are afraid to come out and tell these stories. The best thing about YouTube channels are it does give people opportunities to tell those stories where you don't have it before. But still, some people don't want to go onto a YouTube channel. You know, but going to a conference, going with people like you, don't tell their story because they feel protected. You know what I mean? I mean, that's why I love going to conferences. And you know, big one, small one, it doesn't matter. You know, I've always tell people like, Eric, what's your favorite? Bigfoot, UFO, paranormal conferences. I always go to the Comic-Con conference. I love Comic-Con conference. I love the people dressing up in outfits and like saying, fuck you to the world. We get to be ourselves. So if you ever get a chance to go to a conference, go to a conference. Go have fun.
Another conference like this anywhere else?
Not quite like this. You're right next door to Skinwalker Ranch.
Phenomenon used to be financed by taxes. This year, Uena County says the conference has sold enough tickets to UFO and Bigfoot hunters to pay for itself and not be a burden on the taxpayers.
And first of all, it was never, I researched it, it was never a barrier on the taxpayers. It brought money in. If you spend money correctly, you will create money. But like Jessica was saying, but most of the governments waste money in the first place. So it's kind of ironic that the one field, the paranormal and Bigfoot field and the UFO field that they put tax money, it actually generates money. Go figure. I spoke at a small town Georgia Bigfoot Festival a couple of weeks ago. It was amazing. Man, Jessica Jones, I'm jealous. I am jealous. And Jessica, the reason I'm jealous is we have had several Bigfoot conferences up here. And every time I reach out and say, hey, I'd like to speak at one of your conferences, they don't want me to speak at these conferences. they don't. And I've tried. Everybody knows on this channel that I have tried. I have got special people to tell me, special people to talk to. But for whatever reason, these conferences don't want me to speak. And one person told me, and there was a Bigfoot conference happening up in Forks, Washington, the home of Twilight, which most of Twilight was shot and filmed in Oregon and Canada, not really in Forks. They told me that my name was brought up to be a speaker at the conference, but some of them said this guy, and this is the truth. This is 100% true. I won't tell you the name of the person who told me this, that they didn't want you there because you have too much energy and they don't want you trying to outshine them. Really? If you're afraid of somebody speaking better than you or showing me energy, then you need to get listen to grow these conferences, to get them bigger and bigger and bigger, to get more people to come to go to these conferences. You're going to need different kind of people, because different people respond differently. Just differently through some speakers. You know, some people, listen, we have respect for a lot of people who kind of got that monotone. I went out to the woods. Bigfoot was over there. My heart, you know what I mean? There's people that have that monotone, and there's people who enjoy that. But some people don't want monotone. Some people like the more energy, they want the more like the Connor Flynn's out there and stuff. So I always try to tell these conferences, listen, I might not be your cup of tea, but I might be 5 or 6, 7 other people cup of tea. And you want to get those varieties into your conferences. But I don't know. I'll bring you at any conference there. You have some of the best Bigfoot. I know. And Jessica, I'm not saying that just to say that. I think I would do well at these conferences, but they keep turning me down. It's just, I don't know. It is what it is, right? I can only control what I can control.
Seeing is believing, right? We believe, Phenomenon, we believe.
Leisha Calthorpe is Director of Tourism and Events for UNA County and manages Phenomenon.
This year we have people joining us from 41 states, 5 countries, and 3 planets.
While her salary isn't included in the budget, this ledger obtained by Fox 13 shows the conference expects to break even on its $170,000 budget, including paying $5,000 to the conference center.
All right, your total is $100.
Calthorpe estimates the economic benefit to the city and county to be about $500,000.
Got a jersey and a mug.
Hold on a second. She wants to say hi to everybody. Say hello. Say hello. This thing has been bothering me. Hey, you're live. Oh. What? I messed that up. I got a fireplace behind me, but she's at my leg. I apologize. Let's continue.
Absolutely, entertainment is not science.
Steve Lawn is a skeptic from New Jersey with his own online show. He's concerned Phenomenon preys on people predisposed to believing fantastic claims and conspiracies, and even pushes a hysteria that winds up benefiting people looking to make money, including defense contractors.
All right.
To say that there's no harm, it's kind of like believing in Santa Claus, that's fine. But certainly, no one is lobbying Congress for millions or billions of dollars over Santa Claus.
It is real, that there is something.
Listen, Steve Long, technically, he's allowed to believe whatever he wants. He's allowed to believe whatever he wants. But to come out and say, like it's automatically people are giving out false information. Really? Have you ever watched Steve Long? Have you ever watched and sat down and watched CNN and Fox News? Didn't Fox News just lost this huge lawsuit because they were falsing stories? I mean, those are impacted stories that Fox and CNN does. So you're going to cry and say this is bad for the community for a few people talking about the possibility of Bigfoot existing, the possibility of UFOs from an outer space existing, which technically is proven it could be real, could be true. You know, even science has proven in certain ways that, that the theory of time travel and stuff is possible. So really? I mean, paranormal ghost? So then if you're gonna go that far and say that these are giving the wrong information, then you know what? There should be disclaimers on every CNN, every Fox show, every news channel there is. What about that? So, no, it's harmful, like Santa Claus. Like, you know what's harmful, Steve? I wish I could get Steve Long on. You know what's harmful is to try to control on what people are allowed to learn and not. Isn't that's what, especially America, was supposed to be built on? Freedom of speech, freedom to believe what you believe, as long as it's not harming people. I'm not talking. Don't get me wrong. I'm not talking about things that can harm other people, but you should be promoting, supporting people to have open minds to listen to everything. Now, are there idiots who will believe everything they hear? Of course, they do that with Fox News and CNN every day. It just kind of drives me crazy when they pick on a genre when you see everything in the news channels. I mean, my God, every time a governor speaks, a president speaks, you're wondering if they're even telling you the truth, right? I mean, you're sitting there wondering, okay, does he really mean it? You know what I mean? I mean, it's you don't even get that feeling, but it's weird that people still want the world to be controlled with only certain kind of information they accept. And if you did something like that, then you're giving individual people too much power on saying what people should read about, what they're thinking about, what they I mean, it's, oh, you believe in that? You're going to have to come over here with us. It's like a point where sooner or later, I know it's hard when you have kids, sooner or later, you're going to have to trust your kids, right? They're at the age, they got to live their life. You got to let go. You can't always control people. And it's like these people want to control everything. They want you to believe what they have to believe in. You know what I mean? I don't know. All right. You can't talk about Utah without talking about Skinwalker Ranch. You just can't. If you're going to do a show about the state of Utah, I just want to show you guys conferences, because conferences are fun. If you haven't been to one, go to one. Now, I'm not going to tell you that every single one's exactly the same. They're all different sizes. I have gone a couple where everybody who was there were boring. They didn't speak. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you every conference is great, but there are great conferences out there. If you get an opportunity, try to go to one, because you're going to meet people like yourselves, and that's the biggest gift, the most fun. So you can't do a Utah without talking about Skinwalker Ranch.
And welcome back. With Halloween just around the corner, this is a really timely story. It may be the spookiest place in the country or even the world, and it's right here in our backyard.
Yeah, how about that? 2 scientific studies suggesting the answer is Skinwalker Ranch, a patch of rural real estate in northeastern Utah. George Knapp had exclusive access to the ranch for 2 decades.
For as long as humans have lived in the Uinta Basin, they've been seeing strange things in the sky. In the 1970s, Utah State professor Frank Salisbury wrote a well-documented book about hundreds of UFO sightings in the basin. But the strangeness goes way beyond mystery aircraft. For 15 generations, indigenous tribes, including the Utes, have referred to this sandstone ridge as being, quote, in the path of the Skinwalker, a malevolent spirit, a shapeshifter. The ridge overlooks a picturesque property now known around the world by its nickname, Skinwalker Ranch. It easily ranks as the most intensely studied paranormal hotspot in history.
You guys believe that? And listen, I am not here to disprove or saying Skinwalker's real or not. I believe these type of phenomena happen all around the world. I feel they happen all around the world. I don't feel that they just happen at Skinwalker Ranch. I think Skinwalker Ranch is the bigger piece of land, more clear, less populated, easier to see the skies. Because I believe that these phenomena are everywhere. And sometimes it's like whatever I watch, they all say, Skinwalker's Ranch is the biggest, is the most, and all that. And I don't believe that's the case. I believe these phenomena happen everywhere. I think portals are everywhere. Yesterday's channel, Jessica Jones, was it yesterday or was it Tuesday? That she had a great conversation with the guest, and they're talking about portals and mirrors and stuff. And that stuff can happen anywhere. It doesn't all just happen in Skinwalker Ranch. Okay, I'm sorry about that. It was yesterday. I get my days messed up. She had a great conversation about portals, and I loved it when Jessica brought up magic mirror on the wall, the little Mandela effect, because talk about how mirrors could be portals, TVs can be portals, and then it was I kind of like how she brought in the magic mirror and mirror, like a lot of us who grew up when we were kids, we most things you rented for cartoons was Disney. So, we saw the Snow Whites, the Sleeping Beauties cartoons a lot. And almost every single one of us says mirror. I know the skeptics will say, well, magic mirror can't, it was magic mirror. You heard mirror somewhere else. Okay, whatever. My memory remembers mirror, so sue me. Okay? If it was always magic mirror, great for you. But I remember mirror. But it was intriguing to think about what she was talking about on her channel yesterday about time travel, portals with the mirrors. And it's just kind of weird thinking about mirror, magic mirror, and also thinking about how these mirrors are more powerful than people think. Not all mirrors, but certain mirrors that does have portals and magic. So mirror, magic mirror makes it even more intriguing to think about the person who wrote the story and all that. When they think about mirror, was there like a little magical mirror that was going on there that made them switch it? But of course, I know the skeptics. I know. It was always magic mirror. Okay. Listen, your memory is your memory. I always tell that to people. Whatever anybody says, skeptics or not, your memory is your memory. And if you remember mirror, then you know what? To you, it's mirror. I remember mirror. And Bob and I even talked about the song mirror that was in Red Hot Chili Peppers. I can't remember the song, like Checkmate the Queen, where we talk about the game chess. And Bob and I remember that the game now we're switching to a Mandela Effect show, right? We're switching to a Mandela Effect show. And we remember, everybody says it's Checkmate the King, but for some reason we remember Checkmate the Queen. And even in that song from Red Hot Chili Peppers, there's a lyric in one of their songs talk about checkmating the queen, which some people says that's what do you call that word? That's evidence, right? Bob, what is the name of that song? I can't even remember that song. From the Chili Pepper that said checkmate the queen. They just gaslight us all by telling us we're misremembering. Yeah, it's and listen, do we misremember? Of course we do. I'm not gonna sit here and say every single Mandela effect is a Mandela effect. But you gotta admit, some of that stuff is trippy. And there is no explanation why. I can't remember. God, I can't remember that Chili Pepper song too. That had Checkmate the Queen in it. God, we did a whole show on that. Let's go back to Skinwalker Ranch.
These were our guys. I mean, remember, we're talking PhD level scientists, highly credible, highly trained.
Dr. John Alexander, a retired Army intelligence colonel, was part of the first scientific study of the ranch under the umbrella of NIDS, the National Institute for Discovery Science, a think tank created and funded by Las Vegas aerospace entrepreneur Robert Bigelow. After reading a Deseret newspaper story about UFO activity at the ranch, Bigelow flew to Utah, bought the property, and assigned a team of professionals to study the ranch and the basin. The rancher and his neighbors told the NIDS team about a litany of bizarre activity, shadow people.
Fortune Faded. Is that the song? Fortune Faded? Fortune Faded. Hold on. Actually, hold on. We'll talk about it after. Now this guy from Vegas went and bought the Skinwalker Ranch. This is the problem where I start having. You a billionaire who buys a ranch because there's already a name there. Be like me buying Amityville Horror, the house, and I know I can make some money out of it. And I'm not, listen again, I'm not saying everything this guy has done there is false or real. But when you buy a property like that, that's supposed to have phenomenons, do we believe that a lot of things they do there has been exaggerated? What do you guys think? Has now, and there's no right or wrong answer to this. There's no right or wrong. Has the Skinwalker Ranch with this Bigelow, is he exaggerating the phenomenon that goes on there? So put 1 for yes, put 2 for no. So put 1 if you feel that everything that this guy has done there, Bigelow, once he bought it. I'm not talking about the whole phenomenon there. Since he bought it, do you feel that it's real? Everything is real. So put 1 yes, and then put 2 no. I see a lot of 1s. Cynthia put 1. Carla put 1. Scripted. Oh, without a doubt. They got a TV show. Listen, you got a TV show. You got to make your investment pay out to the point where you're gonna have to resell it in the future. So you want it. What's the question again? Skinwalker Ranch. Do you believe Skinwalker Ranch phenomenon is exaggerated? 1 for yes, 2 for no. Everything they show is real. So 1 is for if you feel that he has exaggerated the phenomenon that's there. And again, Danny, you're undecided. And that's fair. I mean, we're not there. We're not there. I feel they have exaggerated it. They exaggerated. Are there phenomena there? Yes, but I believe that there's phenomena around this whole world, not just at Skinwalker Ranch. But I believe that exaggerated. And I have said this in the past, and I will never get away from this. We know that exaggeration is always going to be part of a story. People are always going to exaggerate somewhat. But there is a fine line in going too far where if you there is a gray area where if you exaggerate to the point where you're forcing somebody to think a certain way and you exaggerated something to make them think a certain way, that's the same thing as lying. That's the same thing as falsifying a picture, falsifying a video. You can't exaggerate to the point where I consider it's lying. I mean, I'm going to say this again. You see this a lot with Zach, with Ghost Adventures, where he'll force a word into your head. he would force. Remember, you guys ever seen the one video of Zach? Remember this? Remember this? Hold on. I gotta do this. Let me do this live. Zach. Guys, remember that? Like he's being possessed. That's exaggeration. To me, that's a lie. That's what I'm talking about. Faking things. You guys remember that, right? He goes like he's being possessed and everybody's touching him. That is a complete lie. I've heard stories of people getting possessed, and they just don't do it like that. You know, most possessions, you start seeing certain things that come out of them, not like that. So I know all of you have. I know if I show that video, it'll take down this episode, so I won't show it. But I know a lot of you have seen that when Zach goes nuts. It's so.
Appearing in and around the ranch house, poltergeist-type events where physical objects moved on their own, strange animals including huge wolves and Sasquatch, holes in the sky. The scientists witnessed much of this for themselves, including animals carved up with surgical precision, ghostly images that appeared on camera. In all, they documented hundreds of paranormal events. John Alexander dubbed it a precognitive sentient intelligence.
Something else is in control, and if it wants you to find out, it may allow that, but if it doesn't, this thing just keeps morphing and changing into, new shapes and forms. Things we're doing now, we're on camera. We had cameras there, and things would happen just off camera, or sometimes in front of the camera, but you wouldn't see them.
He looked in, and all four animals were standing there like totally dazed, and to work with even a single bull getting.
Hold on a second. Griff wrote, Ghost Adventures had to admit something was faked on a live Halloween show a few years back. I think they still fake overblown stuff. Yeah. And listen, I'm not saying it's scary if you feel like there's a hand touch on you, like somebody like touches you. Okay. But as much as that has happened to Ghost Adventures through the years, you would think you get somewhat immune to it, right? It's kind of like when I first started the cable company, when I first threw up a 32-foot ladder, when I first started going up a ladder, my heart pounds, right? You're like, you're off the ground. If you fall, you die or break your legs or whatever, and but after a while, you go up the ladder so many times, it becomes nothing. But on that show, every hand touch, every little thing, they run, they scream. And it's like, you would think you're immune to some of that many years. I don't know.
Into an enclosed space like this would be almost impossible.
The NIDS investigation was conducted in secrecy for years, but was stymied by the trickster intelligence. A 2005 book, Hunt for the Skinwalker, revealed details about the ranch to the world and came to the attention of the DIA, the Defense Intelligence Agency. With the support of Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid, the DIA launched its own study of weird activity at the ranch and the larger question of UFOs. $22 million was allocated. Reams of documents and reports were generated, but have never been made public. In December 2017, the New York Times revealed the Pentagon's secret study of UFOs, but that expose made no mention of the far more mysterious encounters at the ranch.
What about Skinwalker Ranch? Did you get reports on that? Or can you say?
I would prefer to defer that question if that's okay.
Lou Elizondo was the intelligence officer in charge of ATIP, which studied the now famous UFO videos and other military encounters. He coordinated with the DIA and the team studying the ranch. What happened in Utah isn't just a spooky story for Halloween, it involves national security.
Let's take the nature of Skinwalker out of the equation and just look at it from an intelligence problem. You have to ask yourself, A, is this something that is naturally occurring? Is this something that is being deliberately done? Is this something that another nation could be behind, trying to influence us?
And wow, and that's right here in the field.
Let me ask you guys something. And again, I'm not here to tell you guys Skinwalker's true or not. Okay, so the government investigated it. They spent $22 million into it. Now, story goes that they found a lot of things there. And if they did, why isn't Skinwalker Ranch under their control? I'm just asking. I'm just saying, if there is some power and energy that's from there, then why haven't the military government took over the land? Well, Eric, if they did, they're going to admit that there's something strange going on. Nah. Get that shit out of here. I'm just saying, I just have to ask that question. You know, why? Hold on a second. Maybe the reason that none of this stuff has been spoken at any of those conferences because there's really nothing to show. Maybe everything that we think that's in these reports are just speculation by us. I mean, really. I mean, if you're spending $22 million and you found some kind of energy that's out of this world, I would think that section of land would be taken over by the government. I mean, I was in the military myself. Bob was in the military myself. They don't care what the public thinks. If there's something there that they consider that could be dangerous to the public or something they can use, they will take over. And maybe the main reason why they haven't taken over, because there really wasn't something there. I don't know. I don't know. Hold on. What did you say here? How often have you been watching one of these programs, then you hear the floorboards in your own home creak? Your mind runs away with you, laugh out loud. You can't believe everything they present on TV 100%. If they don't hype it in some way, no one would watch it. TV is an effective propaganda tool. I am my own biggest skeptic, so I grow and all you guys are 100% correctly. Just like I said when my friend I talked to yesterday, like, Eric, if you said that Bigfoot threw a rock at you investigating, people are going to believe you, right? There's going to be people that are going to believe you, and you're going to, and the channel probably would grow off saying, hey, Eric got attacked. But I won't do that. And because I won't do that, I'm never going to be, since I won't exaggerate and I won't lie to you people, I will never be a Jamie Corbell size channel, any of those kind of size channels, because I won't lie. I won't do that. This is from cancer. This is from the surgery they did on Monday. So I wish I could tell you that attack. Now, not saying the radiation is not from a portal, which is could be true, but again, just be careful who you're watching out there. Just be careful. I don't know if you guys know this. There's a lot of reasons why channels could get demonetized. I actually got demonetized like 4 years ago because of hate speech. And they showed me what the video was, and it was a certain guest that I had on that had a lot of hate. So I got demonetized, and of course I got it back. And of course you could get demonetized for falsing, where they say you're falsing, lying about medical. Medical could get you demonetized. There's a lot of certain things to get you demonetized. But there's one demonetization that there's certain people that keep on getting demonetized, and people, you don't realize this, that it is against YouTube rules to buy clicks and views and buy subscribers. I'm not talking about if you buy an ad through Google, because you can buy ads. They know if you got subscribers through ads, but there are channels who are trying to pretend they're with the big boys. They are. And they're buying subscribers and views. And you know what? They're getting demonetized. If you could get demonetized for buying clicks and views and buying subscribers. And if it's not through ads, Google will sell you ads, and they know it's coming from them. And there are channels that are getting demonetized. So next time you see a channel that's demonetized, just see how fast their channel was growing. I'm serious. Find a channel that got demonetized. How fast did they grow? That's all I'm going to say. How fast did they grow up to the point where they got demonetized? And if they've grown 3,000 to 5,000, gotta ask yourself, did they earn those people? Did they earn them? Or did they buy them? Channels are getting demonetized for this. I'm just saying. Now they'll come out and say they don't like it because I'm not speaking the truth or whatever. Next time you see a channel get demonetized, just look at their record 6 months before they got demonetized. We all want to grow, but some channels are growing a little bit too fast because they want to look huge in front of people. Am I lying? Am I not? I don't know. Just do your own investigation. Look at some channels that got demonetized. I'm just saying. Just look at them. Now, if they didn't grow, then they got really, truly demonetized. But channels that are trying to act like and trying to show off like they're with the big dogs, ask yourself. Well, guys, tomorrow I will be back tomorrow with Dr. Wu. There is a show this Friday with Dr. Wu, and the topic is whatever we want. Whatever we want. And I'm sending out the invite. If he's available tomorrow, I would love if Ron or Cosmic Neighbors could jump on with Bob and I. I wanna get an update on some asteroids and where we at with the satellites. How many satellites are going out still this year? I like to get an update from Ron. So if Ron is available tomorrow, I would love to have Ron come on with Bob and I, and we'll just have a kick-ass time. And I think right now, people, hold on a second. Hold on a second. I think right now, let me share the screen. Our good friend, Bigfoot Michigan and Rob is on right now live with Tex and Baron. So I'm gonna be jumping over there saying hi to them, but I'm gonna hold on. Let's type this in, guys. Let's type this in. Let's let Michigan Rob know that we're watching him live. We are watching you guys live on my channel. We love you all. Let's see. You know what's cool? Somebody bought me a membership on their channel. I don't know who bought me a membership on their channel, but just seeing if they notice that we are that we're watching them live. Let's see if they say anything.
Jameer Gibbs, a pretty good player we drafted from Alabama. I'm looking forward to what he can do for us. He looks pretty exciting. So, but yeah, again, not a football station, but I love sports.
Yeah, so we're watching you guys live. We're watching them live. So I'll be jumping on over there. So they have a great channel. Bigfoot Michigan Rob, Tex, great people. And Tex is going to be at the Alabama Bigfoot conference coming up. And Barry, if you guys never heard Barry before, Barry's on Jessica Jones' channel a lot. And Barry has a lot of information and a lot of good stuff on him. So, hold on, Danny. Danny is jumping on over there and letting him. We're we're watching you guys live.
I'm a sports guy. I can name the starting lineups of most of our teams in Detroit. Even the Red Wings are now
They're awesome.
Finally getting their stuff together.
They're an awesome channel, guys. Please watch them. Jump over there. I'm gonna be saying hi to them. I love those guys a lot. I love good channels. They're honest people themselves. Those are type of people that you can be honest. World Bigfoot Radio, love that guy. He's awesome. Dr. Wu's channel, Robert Wood, awesome channel. Cosmic Neighbors, Danny Stanton, Jessica Jones, all great people. Bigfoot Anon. There's a lot of great, honest channels out there, and hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow on
Umebozu is a legendary creature from Japanese folklore that is said to inhabit the seas and oceans around Japan. According to legend, the Umebozu is a giant sea monster that rises from the depths of the ocean to attack ships and devour sailors. The creature is said to be so large that it can capsize even the largest of ships with a single blow. Sailors have reported seeing huge dark shapes rising up from the water and striking their ships with incredible force, causing them to break apart and sink in moments. Umebozu is able to summon massive storms and tidal waves with its powerful roar. Sailors who have encountered the creature report hearing a deafening roar that shakes the very foundations of their ships, followed by towering waves that can easily swamp a vessel. Despite its fearsome reputation, some legends also say that the creature can be appeased with offerings of food and drink. Sailors sometimes leave offerings of sake or other goods on the deck of their ships in the hopes of avoiding an encounter with the monster. So next time you're out at sea and hear a loud roar, be on the lookout for the terrifying Umebozu.